All right. What is going on, guys? So I know it's been a little bit since I uploaded a video, and trust me, I have been actually trying to upload a video, but you get busy. You get busy out here in these streets. So this week has been. What was this? The week. This was the beginning. The beginning of this week was the 24th. So I started. I actually. Last week on the 21st, I actually deadheaded home about 9 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, something like that. Whatever it was, I know I deadheaded 8 hours home before. So whatever it was this past week, this past Friday, was the longest I ever deadheaded home. And I think I deadheaded from almost Memphis, I think. It was Thursday because I had to get home Thursday because me and my wife went out of town for her birthday. So yeah, it was Thursday that it was Wednesday. That's right. It was Wednesday. But anyway, did that, enjoyed the weekend. Then I came back. I was empty Monday. I went to Macon, Georgia, and I picked up a load and took that down to Tallahassee, Florida. Then I went back home. Didn't get a load Tuesday. Got a load Wednesday going to... Where did I go? I forget. I'm everywhere all the time, so I forget where I'm at half the time. Yeah, I went from Macon to Fort Smith, Arkansas, and then I picked up a load Thursday. Yeah, I picked up a load Thursday, and in Pryor, Oklahoma. And that's going to Gibsonton, Florida, and that's delivered on Monday. I just got home today. 2 loads on the week this week, and I got a pretty good paying week. I think I did like $5,900 to the truck. And like all together, I think it's like over $4,000 some dollars before anything comes out, before taxes, before truck payment and all that good stuff. But we chilling at the house today. It's Saturday, about 3:20 in the afternoon. I got the hookah going. And we chilling. We actually getting ready to go downtown and get something to eat here with some friends. And I just wanted to make this video because I've been wanting to make this video. I almost made the video on the truck, and my camera set up here, but I'm looking over here at my screen. So got some drinks in the background, but I'm not sipping on anything just yet, but I will be probably in a second here. I got like an apple mint flavor in the hookah. It kind of tastes a little bit like licorice. It ain't the best. I got some guava, what I normally mix with some mint, and it tastes pretty good. But anyway, you guys aren't here for that. You hear about lease purchase. And I've been seeing a lot of stuff on lease purchase here lately. And I'm not calling anybody out or anything. But anyway, he made a video about lease purchase and, being a scam. And then another channel that I follow, Lone Wolf Trucking, made a video about it too. And I actually wanted to make that same type of video. I'm not copying you or anything there, Lone Wolf. I feel the same way. Me and Lone Wolf have similar not only names but journeys. The whole Black Wolf thing for me was, I created that a while ago when I created like a marketing agency. I went with it because I actually got a wolf tattoo, so I thought like that was the name of my brand. I had this tattoo before I even named the brand that. This tattoo is probably like, how old is my oldest daughter? She's 6, and I had this tattoo before she was born. So this tattoo is probably like 7 or 8 years old. But anyway, I just wanted to make this video about lease purchase because, you see a lot of people showing you the goods and bads. And I've told you, like, recently loads have not been too good. Like ever since we switched from Central Oregon to WTI, I feel like loads have really, really went down. And I hate to say it, but I miss Central Oregon. Not working for them. I miss the loads. Because if you guys have been following me long enough, you know that I don't mind running coast to coast. or out to the Midwest and back. I love going to the Midwest because I always get good loads going down to Florida. And then when I get to Florida, most of the time I just deadhead 4 or 5 hours to the house, or even to get another load. You know, going up to New Jersey, I'm used to deadheading long distances. But anyway, so lease purchase. Now, I've made a video on this before, and I still feel the same. And actually, I'm a reference this in a second. If I could find that video, I would share it, but I cannot find it. But I don't want that to start playing. Okay. If I could find that video, I would reference it. But he talked, Bonehead Truckers guy. I don't know his name. I've been following him for a while, but I just don't know his name. But he went talking a lot about lease purchase, and is lease purchase a scam? And you got all these guys that are in the comments that always say, "Oh, I wouldn't even dream of doing it." Yeah, you got 100% responsibility of the truck, which is true to a certain extent. Yes, you do have 100% responsibility to the truck, but depending on what company you go to, that truck can break down and be down for weeks. And whatever company you work for, like I know at least with Hornady, I'm not 100% sure with WTI just yet, but with Hornady, they will give you a company truck to run while your truck is getting worked on. Okay, at least that's what it was with Hornady. I don't know if that's the same with WTI. I haven't had to deal with that yet. I'm actually having APU issues that I actually need to get situated. I had to idle my truck the past couple of nights. Let's get on. So my thoughts on lease purchase. And like I said, depending on what company you go to, you can expect different things. Now, me personally, I've had a good time. I've shared with you my bad times here at Lease Purchase. Now, is it a scam? That's the main thing people want to know. People always want to know, is lease purchase a scam? Is it a scam? Blah, 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 blah. In my opinion, and I know Lone Wolf said it, he said that it is a scam and it isn't a scam. I forget exactly what he said in his video.
And when either of these individuals or anybody asks me, is lease purchase a scam? My partial answer is absolutely. Right? I always started off that way. Whether you're asking me a question sincerely, or you're just outright, telling me, that, lease purchase is a scam.
You really got to define the word scam, because I mean, and I've said this before, if you look at it, there's a lot of things in life that is technically a scam. Taxes, scam. We're paying our government to send money, and I'm not going to get into politics that much, but we're paying our government money for doing nothing. I mean, they've proven that. I mean, they're sending money over to other countries. I mean, I think they just sent a bunch of money over to Taiwan. It seems like we're just trying to get in a unnecessary war for some reason with Russia and China. But anyway, I digress. What most people look at lease purchase is that you take all the ownership and you'll never own the truck. Now, the prime example of that would actually be Prime. Prime has a lease program where you only lease the truck. You only pay on the truck, pay for fuel. You'll never own that truck. But you know that going in, because that's what Prime is set up for. That's what that specific program is set up for, to just lease the truck. You never own the truck. So most of those guys upgrade trucks at the end of each year, or at the end of each term or whatever. They have a lease purchase program where you put like $14,000 down, and then you're actually lease purchase the truck. You'll own the truck after you get done with whatever the term is. Now, I was going to go to Prime. I thought about going to Prime. But the only reason I didn't go to Prime is because the main reason that I didn't go to Prime is because they're governed at 65. Lease guys are governed at 65. Company guys are governed at 62. So I'm just at the point where I don't I can't go back to 65. I just refuse to go back to 65. And there's not a lot of companies out there that are governed above 65. I mean, there could be. I mean, I'm the ones that I'm looking at a lot of the main companies. But so the main things that you got to be prepared for when you lease a truck, lease purchase, whatever. You don't need a bunch of money to get started. Okay? Contrary to what everybody else says, you do not need a ton of money. You don't need $10,000 to go lease a truck. Okay? I started with nothing. Okay? I had a little bit of money saved up. I had maybe about $2,000 or $3,000 saved up from being a company driver, but I didn't necessarily need that money. I didn't use that money to get into the lease at all. I signed up. I left Central Oregon. They flew me out to Birmingham, and I went over and picked up my truck. All right, so I went over. They flew me out to Birmingham. I went through like a two-day orientation. Then I got a load and got going. They broke down all the terms and everything to the lease. I can leave the company and take my truck with me. I'd have to pay like $2,500, and then the company that I go to would have to still send the payments over to Hornady or WTI, whatever. It's WTI, but they'd still have to send the payments over because I'm still under that same contract, even though we switched over to WTI. WTI is apparently working on getting the contract switched so we can be under. It'll probably be after this year where we switch over to a WTI contract. But basically, WTI took over the Hornady Central Oregon contract. So anyway, the same stipulations, I guess is the right word, fall under that, so I can do the same things, same contract, whatever. So anyway, they flew me out. I got into the truck and I started pulling loads. The first 2 weeks, I didn't have any truck payments or anything like that. It was all money going to me other than taxes. Then after that, my first check was like $40 because my truck payment and everything came out. And for the first 8 weeks, it was like a certain amount of money that came out. And after that, it's been going on. So that big $4,200 payment, if you've seen my other videos, that big $4,200 check that I had was truck payment, and everything came out of that except taxes. Obviously, that was just a killer week that I had. I was really working it that way. I think that's the week I went from Macon to New Mexico, and so on and so forth throughout that. So me personally, I haven't seen the scam. You know, I've been paying attention to a lot everything. I write down all my loads. I make sure I pay attention to all my fuel. I get the discounts. Somebody please show me the scam. The only thing I have to take care of is my own 401k, my own taxes, and my insurance. If that's a scam that you got to take care of that, you're a 1099 employee. If that's the scam, then I don't know. Maybe every contracted employee ever that does photography and everything, I guess all of them are being scammed also. But I mean, you can find little stuff like that in a lot of different organizations or industries, I guess was the right word. But you can find stuff like, I mean, you can call any of that a scam, I guess. But you just gotta be a little bit more mindful. I got an escrow account. $250 a week goes into that account, and all that's used for your maintenance on the truck. So oil change, tires, if you break down on the side of roads, stuff like that. But so far, WTI hasn't taken anything out. I've had one tire issue on my tractor. This is all tractor stuff. Obviously, they take care of everything on the trailer. I had a blowout, as you saw in the last video. WTI took care of that because it was their trailer. I'm not paying for the trailer. I'm renting the trailer, I guess. I think it's like, I forgot how much it is per week. I think it's like $35 per week or something like that. But I'm switching trailers all the time, and I hate those recaps. But I haven't seen the scam. I mean, all the time I see these guys saying, I wouldn't lease to save my life. I wouldn't. If you're leasing, you're losing at the end of the day. And honestly, I don't see it. Now I understand what they're saying. If you break down, then yeah. If you got a big repair, or I ran into a guy the other day who said that one of this guy was an actual owner operator, and he said that one of his steer tires blew, and it ruined the front, like not ruined the front end, but it busted up his front end. Obviously, he has to get that repaired and everything. I think it messed up his hood, so he has to order a new hood and stuff. So he's down right now. He's not able to run any loads because he has to get that repaired. Like I said, with Hornady, it was that if that happened, then they'd let you borrow a company truck, and you get to run. Now, obviously, if they don't have any trucks, then you can't run. But until you get that repaired, Hornady, WTI, at least, they would let you use one of their company trucks to keep on rolling. Obviously, that'd be a big issue. You'd have to probably get flew out somewhere to. If you're way out somewhere, then you have to get flew out and all that. It's a big deal. But it depends on what company you go to. I've heard good things about Blair, P&S, same company basically. TSH, who Lone Wolf works for. I've heard good stuff about a lot of the lease companies around here. The main thing that what you run into. And hold on, let me hit this real quick. So the main thing that you run into when you hear these guys talking about lease purchase, there's either two options. They either one, they did a lease program and they sucked at it, or it just wasn't a good company and they didn't do good at it, or that second person, they just hear stuff from other people and they've never actually tried to do it, and they just got a bunch of negative stuff to say. And honestly, if you've never done something and I'm thinking about doing something that you've never done, then I'm not taking advice from you anyway. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that happens a lot in life. People that have never done something always got the most to say about something because they heard about it from their cousin's uncle's nephew. They're used to lease and they didn't have a good time. And really what it comes down to is probably the work ethic. That's really what it comes down to. Like, I can take off whenever I want to. If I want to take off a week or two, I can take off. And I know with WTI, if you don't make over $500 for the week, they don't take any payments out of your check. They don't. So you're not going to be in the negative. At least that's for what I understand. That's how that works with them. If you don't make over $500, they don't take anything out of your check or out of your. But you're not going to be in the negative on the way back. Of course, that'll put you in the hole, so you'll have to pay that back. That'll add a week or two onto your term or whatever you got going on. The drink of the day, they're not sponsored, but we're gonna drink a little Maker's Mark. I'm gonna pour me a little bit up real quick. We drink it neat. We ain't gonna drink too much because we're actually getting ready to go out and drink a little bit more. So one thing about trucking in general, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna say on the lease. On lease, honestly, if you're thinking about doing it, go ahead and do it. I mean, what's stopping you? Freight, the rates are gonna be the same. The rates are the same. Like I said, I'm not having an issue with rates. I'm having an issue with loads lately. But like I said, I did 2 loads this week, and I got a very nice check coming once I deliver this one on Monday. Whew. Maker's Mark is delicious. So that's pretty much all I'm gonna say about lease. I just really want to finish. I was gonna do. I shouldn't have been trying to talk. I was gonna do this live, but with her running back and forth trying to get in here and stuff, I can't do it live. I got a lot of cutting and stuff to do. But I will say that it does get a little lonely sometimes on the road, and I can say I understand wanting to have a companion with you, whether it be a significant other or an animal, dog, cat, whatever. I understand. Now, I saw one chick who had like 4 dogs in her truck, and that's just a lot. That's a lot. Now, before I finish completely on lease purchase, I want to talk about Wildbeard Trucking. And I saw one of his videos today. It's this one right here specifically. I quit my recovery job. If you go watch this video, he'll talk about he hadn't really gave a full update on you know, what he's got going on. But his thing is that he quit. He sold his truck. Wildbeard Trucking. He sold his truck. Now, I don't know him. I have never talked to him. I think he lives in Kansas City. And I saw that video today. He quit. He sold his truck, and he went to Herberbosch. I can never pronounce that name. He went to Herberbosch. We'll just call him Herb. He went there. You know, the colorful company. He went there, and he was doing recovery. And now he said he just got tired of doing that, and now he's actually gonna go back on the road doing regular loads. And he's actually doing a lease, guys. He's lease purchasing. Why is he lease purchasing instead of going back to a company driver? Because nothing can beat the freedom that you have when you're lease purchase. Now, yeah, you're not a owner operator. You don't have your own authority. Honestly, that's not a goal of mine. My goal is to pay this truck off and keep the truck and do something with it. Maybe I can come local then and pull some local freight. My goal is actually to do a tanker, get into the tanker division eventually, and do that local, pull some local stuff, whether it be food grade or industrial milk or juice or whatever. But I thought it was funny that he's actually lease purchases instead of being. Now, I don't know. He said he has another video that he's coming out to talk about it. So if you guys want to know more about that, Wildbeard Trucking on YouTube. Seems like a really good guy. And he said he's going to explain everything in that video. So I'm interested to see why he chose the lease purchase. I can pretty much guess. Like, I honestly don't think I can go back to being a company driver, just because the freedom that I have to turn down a load if I don't want it. That's the biggest thing. I don't have to go where I don't want to go. But me, I never turn down a load really, unless it's just something that doesn't make sense. I think I've turned down maybe a handful of loads, maybe 4 or 5 loads. So it's getting there, more than a handful. I haven't turned down many loads because I just run for the most part. I just get out here and run. I'm not too picky. Obviously, I want to make a certain amount on each load. But if I've had 2 big loads on the week, then I'll take a $700, $800, $900 load just to get me going back to the house or something, just to cap off my week. Most of the time I pick up those loads around South Carolina or Atlanta or Florida. But I mean, it is really fun for me, man. Like, I don't see myself going back to a 9-to-5 job. If I did, then it would obviously be something related to trucking. I really enjoy just, it is hard sometimes, I will say, to get up and leave, especially like this past weekend when me and my wife went out of town. It was hard to get back in that truck. It was really hard to get back in that truck. It was very hard to get back in that truck. But we got back in there and we did it. That's good. One thing about it, my alcohol tolerance is way down now. Like, if my alcohol tolerance was up here before I started trucking, I'm down here now. Can you see that? I'm down here. Because I normally, like, even on my weekends that I spend out, I think only one time that I drank on the weekend that I was out, that I did a 34 on the road, because there was a bar like right next to where I parked up. So I actually went in the bar like on a Saturday and got a few drinks in there, and that was it. But I know I never get to drink because you're obviously driving. and you can't drink. You can't have any alcohol in your truck. If you get pulled over and you got, even if it's closed, I think that's, I don't know the penalty specifically, but if you got alcohol in your truck, I know you could probably lose your license. I don't know if it works the same. If you get a DUI in or out of the truck, I want to say it is a year suspension of your CDL. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think it's which I think, honestly, I thought it would have been a lot more harsh than just a year suspension. Honestly, if you get a DUI in a commercial vehicle, honestly, I feel like that should be the end of your career. That's my opinion. I mean, at least that's what I thought. That's what I would think. But a year is being pretty lenient, I would say. But whether you're looking at this video and you're trying to figure out whether you need a lease or whether you need to get in trucking in general, if you're still watching at this point, I mean, how long has this video been? What are we at? 30 minutes? Dang, I didn't even know I was sitting here talking for 30 minutes. But if you're thinking about doing it, stop thinking about it, because I procrastinated for years before I finally got my CDL. I procrastinated. I'm the world's biggest procrastinator. I wait to the last minute to do, like, and then when I say last minute, let's go back to high school for a second. If a research paper was due and we had I hate to say this, if we had 6 months to do a research paper, I wouldn't start it until the week that it was due, and I wouldn't write the final like draft or whatever until the night before it was due. 6 months. Yeah, that's how big of a procrastinator that I am. But stop procrastinating, guys. Get your CDL. Stop playing. I got 2 kids and a wife. If I can get out here and do it, you're going to make your money in OTR. At least be OTR the first year. If I can do it with 2 kids and a wife, you can do it too. You have to be mentally, you have to be there. Okay. You can't, it gets emotional. I'm not going to lie. It does get emotional being out on the road, just being away, you know. Your family may be doing something that weekend or whatever. But anyway, if I can do it, then you can do it. And I know that's a little cliche to say, but it really is not that big of a deal. But anyway, guys, here I'm gonna let them in. You don't want to say hey?
Hi.
They've been banging on the door the whole time.
Papa? No, we haven't.
Well,
We haven't been banging on the door.
yeah, stop. That's why y'all didn't come in. But anyway, if I can do it like this, guys, if I can do it, then you definitely can do it. It is hard, like I say, but getting home to see them every weekend is worth it. Stop looking at me. Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one.